What's going on, guys? I am back to cover this MLB video for Friday. We have 13 games today. A lot to look at now that I have a lot more free time going forward since I've graduated college. Expect a lot more videos from me, more throughout the day. I have posted the NBA and the Prize Picks video. This is a baseball video for us to get started for this afternoon. Lots of games. Some of them might get postponed, so we'll have to keep an eye on it. Let's go ahead and get started. As always, if you enjoy the picks, appreciate it if you hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and let's go ahead and get started. You can check out all the socials down below and the website down in the description. So we have Garrett Cole on the mound. There's an 87% of the rain here. I'm just not really looking at any of the games in the Northeast too much right now, unless the weather happens to change. But right here near Philadelphia, it's been cloudy. Looks like it might rain throughout all day, so we'll see. It's not raining right now, but it did rain a lot last night, and there is expecting to be a lot of rain. The temperature is not that good for baseball anyways. Same thing can be said for Baltimore. Same thing can kind of be said for Cleveland, although they have a lot less precipitation chance. So you could look to maybe targeting some of the hitters here. I wouldn't still touch the pitchers with the chances of some of these games getting delayed, but not that I really want to target any bats against Kevin Gausman, who's been racking up the Ks, and even against Shane Bieber, who's been very good over the last few seasons. Maybe you can look to some of these bats in Boston. You got some light rain, but should be able to play through it. You might not want to consider the pitchers in case of a delay, but for the bats, no problem with them. I like the Red Sox good amount, especially the middle part of the order. This lineup has been struggling this year. They haven't been scoring a lot of runs, so I wouldn't go crazy with the full-on stack, but you do got some nice hitters. $2,300 for Cordero at the bottom, $36 for Verdugo. Martinez has been decent. The couple hitters that have been consistent for them have been Devers and Bogarts. Next up, we have Lauer against Jesse Chavez. Chavez pitched for the Rangers a lot. He's not much of a strikeout guy. Now he's with the Braves. He's got wind blowing out. We have some good hitters on both sides. This game could be a bit sneaky to target. We've seen Renfroe come on strong over the last few weeks. Tellez is up to 7 bombs already on the season. Adames is doing his thing. The Brewers have a good lineup. I think you can definitely look to stack some of those guys if you wanted to. And then on the Braves side, Lauer's been a pretty good pitcher this year. He's taken a big step up. He's up to 10-3 on DraftKings. I don't really feel great about stacking the Braves unless you're playing some tournaments. There's some other worse pitchers for us to consider, and Lauer's been pretty good this year. We have the Twins and the A's. The Twins are another side that I can get behind. Going up against a lefty here. They're at home. Buxton's always a good play against lefties. You can have Urshela at only $2,900. Miranda, if he's in the lineup, he's only $2,100 at the bottom. You have Royce Lewis, who has been a big base stealer for the Twins in the AAA, and he should get called up, and expecting him to be in the lineup today against a lefty here. Maybe you won't get a lot of stolen base upside against a left-handed pitcher, but maybe if he's able to get on base against a righty. And he's batted .310 in the minors, .560 slugging, 8 steals in just 9 attempts, so he does have some speed. I'm not sure if Logue is a very deep pitcher. He's probably just an opener, so you'd expect him to get plenty of opportunities against some of the righties out of the bullpen. So he's one cheap guy that you can look to. Can't get any cheaper than $2K on DraftKings. Astros look good again today, especially maybe Michael Brantley at $3,900. Good price tag. Altuve is pretty good priced as well. Second base option, $4,500. And then you have some decent options to look at. Alvarez gives you a lot of power against righties. Tucker's been decent. I probably like Alvarez the top 4 a little bit better, but Tucker as a one-off or as part of the stack is fine as well. I like the Angels a good amount today. We got both stacks, or both sides of this game look pretty appealing, but I have much more confidence in the Angels offense than the Nats offense. So looking all throughout this Angels lineup, main ones that stake out, Rendon's been swinging in a much better bat recently. Taylor Ward was the hottest hitter in MLB for a couple of weeks and has still been doing great for the Angels all season. And then obviously throwing in Trout and Ohtani as part of the stack. This game, you can look to the pitchers, Darvish and Alcantara. Darvish, $9,400, pretty expensive. He's been good this year except for that one game where he got blown up, where he gave up 9 runs against the Giants. And then Alcantara on the other side has also been pretty good for the Miami Marlins. Not that there's still some powerful hitters in this Padres lineup, even without Tatis. Machado, 2 more bombs for him last night. So I don't mind going with him, but you can also look to some other pitching options. Next up, we have Logan Gilbert against Whistler, and probably a bullpen day from the Rays today. None of the sides offensively looked that appealing, so pass on that. I like Gilbert as a pitching option. He has 20-point upside. He's hit 20-plus DraftKings points every single game. I like the Diamondbacks a little bit today as well. Looking at this price tag, throughout this lineup, we've seen Marte give you some double-digit fantasy points recently. He's been a little bit more active offensively, getting some like a steal or two recently as well. Pavin Smith, Varsho, got some good price tags on this team, so they look fine. And then the last game, we can look to the pitching options. If you're looking some one-off stacks, Juan Yepez tweeted him out as being like a free square. Yesterday was 2,000. He's up to 21 now. So if you need a value, you can consider him. But yesterday, we're kind of looking for value with there only being 6 games. Today, we got plenty of other value and plenty of stacks to consider. Going back to DraftKings, the pitching options for me today. First guy I'm going to go ahead and put in. Not looking at any of the pitchers that are dealing with some weather issues. So give me Gilbert as the first option. Going up against the Rays, they have some strikeouts in this lineup, and Gilbert's been very consistent and very safe. He's gotten you 100-plus pitches, which is very rare. For most pitchers, probably like 80% of pitchers are not getting you even close to 90 pitches at this point, or 95 pitches. But Gilbert gives you upside to get you over 100 pitches. Hasn't dropped below 20 fantasy points. The Rays have a low total. He's at home. Lots of good things that I'm expecting from Gilbert tonight, and he does have a lot of potential just in terms of prospect ability and just talent in general. And then the second pitcher I will go with is going to be Yu Darvish here. He's going up against the Marlins. They're at home. Expect the Padres to have a much better chance of winning, and you might get a little bit scared by looking at his ERA, 4.44, but most of that damage has come against that Giants in his second start, where he got lit up for 9 earned runs in 1.2 innings. Otherwise, he's gotten you at least 6 innings. Quality starts in every other start, and all the other 4 starts upside to get you close to 100 pitches as well. And at home, 0.71 ERA compared to 7.9. Once again, that was with the Giants game. Those are the 2 pitchers I like. Still leaves you with plenty of bats to consider. Yeah, getting us started with the bats here. First base options. The top end, you have Ohtani looks good, part of an Angel stack. Cron is very expensive. He's done most of his damage at home in Coors, so I'm not looking to pay $56 for him. If he was at home in Coors, where he's batting almost 400 and has 7 bombs out of his 9, I would be much more inclined, but I'll probably look to some other options and pay up for Cron at $56. The mid-range at first base, kind of looking maybe at like Rowdy Tellez against Chavez. She'll be able to make contact, lefty-righty matchup for him. We have, going further down, Gurriel has been struggling for the Astros this season. I'd rather get Jared Walsh, who gives you home run upside, home runs in back-to-back games. From him, 5 hits the last 2 games, been swinging a pretty good bat recently, so he's one guy that I feel good about, part of an Angel stack, or even using him as a one-off first baseman. Moving over to second base, we have Chisholm at the top end, going up against Darvish, not looking to target him, even though he might make sense for tournaments if you're not playing Darvish. For me, I'm going to go ahead and put in Altuve at 45, just like the price tag on him. He's affordable. They have one of the higher totals on the slate. Confidence in the Astros to put up some runs against Detroit, and Altuve's missed a good amount. He's missed like a couple weeks of the season already with injuries, but does have 3 home runs already in just 13 games. So he's still making contact, does give you stolen base upside as well. Over at third base, top end, not looking at Ramirez against Gausman. Arenado doesn't have the easiest matchup. Machado doesn't have the easiest matchup. So it's a spot where you can go a little bit cheaper. You can definitely go Bregman if you're looking to stack up the Astros. Other stacks that look appealing to me would be the Red Sox, so you can go Devers here. Mid-range options to consider could be like going with the Twin stack, so you have $2,900 option for your Urshela at his price tag. So we got some options to consider. Moving over to shortstop, it's a spot where I can go cheap if I wanted to, because we have that $2,000 potentially starting. I also didn't mention Rendon, but I like him at third base. But shortstop, your top end, not gonna think crazy really sticks out besides Bogarts. Looks really appealing. Mid-range, Once again, you might get some weather issues in some of these games in the Northeast, so you might be a little bit limited with your player pool. But I'm going to go ahead and put in that 2K catcher, or the 2K shortstop option from the Twins. Gives us some speed, lefty-righty, and he should be in the lineup just with Carlos Correa probably going to be put on the injured list. So Royce Lewis, 2K flat. Got a good value piece there. Over in the outfield, lots of good options to pick from and lots of good options for us all throughout different price ranges. At the top end, I'm going Mike Trout. I like the Angels stack a lot today going up against this Nats pitching staff and their bullpen. Trout's been mashing the ball all season, especially at home. He's batting almost 360 with 4 bombs. Hasn't had a stolen base yet, but we know he does give you speed, so a matter of time before he starts getting some of those and starts racking them up. Other options at the top end would definitely be Byron Buxton, Ohtani, looking to stack those two teams a lot today. Other picks would be Yordan Alvarez, if you're looking to get to the Astros bats today. The mid-range, 4K range, nothing too much that I'm excited about. I like the 5K range a lot better. And we got some other picks in the 3K range that look appealing, like Michael Brantley is part of an Astros stack at $3,900. Lefty-righty matchup for him. He doesn't strike out much, makes good contact. Doesn't give you a ton of home run upside, but he still can put the ball out of the ballpark. And he's bats like right at the top of the order, gives you upside there. And he's another guy that's been very well at home. He only has 5 strikeouts and 40 at-bats, so that's like under 5%. Actually, it's about like 13%, 12.5%, but still not much of a strikeout guy. And making good slugging percentage at home as well, 4.75. Compared to some of the other Astros hitters, he is very nicely priced. And then if you needed a value, I'd probably go with like Juan Yepez again. Didn't know who he was, but he came through for us yesterday. First game, he put up 12 with a couple of doubles. So he definitely, and he's batting 5th in the lineup. So he had 9 home runs in his 22 games for them in AAA. He's got called up, and he's making the most of the opportunity. So that's about it for the DraftKings side. Let's go ahead and touch on FanDuel. All right, over on FanDuel. Pitching options, once again, you got some of the guys with the rain at the top end. Darvish is up to 10-2. I like Gilbert at 93, save some money. Going to spend a little bit more on the bats. Catcher, first base, the top end, not interested in Crone at 39. Not really interested in Paul Goldschmidt either. Maybe if the Toronto game does play, they have a low total, but with Bieber on the other side, but Vlad is always a good GPP play or always a good one-off play with the power that he has and always can get a home run off the pitcher or off a guy coming in out of the bullpen. But I like going in the mid-range a little bit with like Jared Walsh at 29. You have Dalton Varsho at 29 as well, cheaper than that. Don't know if the Casey game will play, but you have a good price tag on Perez there. Pavin Smith as well, 27. Second base, got a great price tag on Altuve, so I'm going to go ahead and put him in. He was great yesterday, coming back after just leaving the game before that. But it's only his 3rd game back from the IL, and he should not be $2,900. The price tag hasn't caught up to him yet. Another pick that I kind of like is Ketel Marte. If you're looking to get to the Diamondbacks side a little bit, he's starting to come around as of late. He got off to a terrible start this year, but recently getting some good hard hits, 3 extra base hits, gives you some speed, getting some walks recently, scoring some runs. So like what I've been seeing out of him, matter of time before the batting average quickly climbs for him. So he makes a guy that you can play in the outfield or at second base or in the utility spot. Over at third base, top end, not too interested in any of those guys. I like Taylor Ward if you wanted to get to the Angels side, but he is expensive. Looking a little bit cheaper to get to them, you can go to Rendon, who's also been a lot better than he was recently. He got off to a terrible start, but you've seen him have a couple of multiple hit games recently, getting some walks. Home runs have been coming after not having any in like the first handful of games. So I like his price tag a bit. And then you can also look to some other guys a little bit cheaper than that, but I'm going to go ahead and put him in at third base next to Altuve. Cheaper options would be like maybe Franco there, maybe looking at anybody of these guys like Juarez from the Brewers at 26. Even though he might be batting at the bottom, he's been doing good for them. Shortstop, you can go with the cheap 2K option, or probably like $2,500 option from the Twins. Or no, FanDuel might not even have him on here yet. Yeah, FanDuel doesn't have him out. Yeah, maybe they'll post him later in the day, but if not, you can still look to get up to like maybe Bogarts at 36. Isn't terribly priced. Adama's been doing great for the Brewers. Good price tag on Tim Anderson. We already got that Yankees game getting postponed, so we don't have to deal with that one. Probably more to come. Over in the outfield, Trout looks awesome as a great pay-up. I'm looking to get to Trout, even looking with Rendon as part of a stack. Even looking to pay up, like even with Gilbert, you can get to Trout pretty easily. Other pick would be Alvarez, Buxton, Ohtani as my favorite pay-ups. Mid-range a bit, looking to scroll down further. Got some good options in the 2K range that I like. We have some of the Brewers that are just above 3K, like Renfroe and Yelich. Hernandez from the Nats has been doing good, but I'm going with a Diamondback. I do like them a little bit today. They have a pretty good total, 4.7 at home. They've been winning some games this year, surprisingly. I think they're like right around 500, if not exactly 500. So Marte at 29, with the way that he's been swinging the bat recently, does give you some upside there. Leaves you with $3,100 left for FanDuel, and that's about it for the video. Thank you for watching. Best of luck today. Leave any comments down below, and I'll see you all next time.